Okay, we're going to be doing some practice for the shape, space and measures unit assessment. Okay, so let's try an example 1. Okay, so the first question, we've got trains depart Glasgow to travel to Troon. Okay, so there's the departure times. Okay, now we can see that the departure times, well, the first one that we're looking at there is 5 PM, 1700 hours. And then the next one after that is 14 minutes later, and the next one after that is 14 minutes later again. Okay, now you can also see that from 5 PM you get to Troon at 5:30, so we can see that it's a service that takes 30 minutes. And the question is to fill in the table for the next 5 times. Okay, so we can see that the train comes at every 14 minutes. So 14 minutes after 5:28, 10 minutes on would be 5:38, and then another 4 minutes would be 5:42. Okay. Then the next one will be 14 minutes after that. So 42 up to 52, and then another 4 minutes, that would be 56. Another 14 minutes after that, well, 4 minutes would take me up to 6 o'clock, so it would be another 10 minutes after that, 18:10. Another 14 minutes on to that, 10 14 is 24. And then another 14 onto the 24 will bring me up to 6:38. Okay, so the service takes 30 minutes. So that's half an hour after 5:42. So that's going to be 18:12. Okay, so if you think about that, that's 42 to 52, and then 02, and then 12. Then 17:56, well, 10 minutes after that would be 18:06, and then 18:16, and then 18:26. Okay, then 18:10, 18:20, 30, 40, 18:40, then 24, 34, 44, 54, 18:54, and then 38, that's going to be 48 and 58, and then 19:08. Okay, next question is, Anna decides to catch the 16:18 train from Glasgow. When does it arrive in True? Okay, so that's a 30-minute service. So from 16:18, 30 minutes on, well, 10 minutes on will be 16:28. Another 10 is 16:38. Another 10, which would make up your half hour, your 30 minutes, 16:48 hours. Okay, question 2. Question 2, we've got a water cooler, as in the shape of a cuboid. Okay, and here's the shape here. Okay, here's the dimensions, so I'm going to say that that's 15 centimetres, 20 centimetres and 60 centimetres. Okay, so a couple of questions. First question is, which formula would you use to find the volume? Okay, so it's a cuboid, so the volume of a cuboid, the formula we use for that then is the length times the breadth times the height. Length times breadth times height. Okay. Next question is, how much water can it hold? Okay, so let's use that formula then. Length times breadth times height. So that's 15 times 20 times 60, and we can enter that into the calculator. Okay, and that will give me 18,000 cubic centimetres. Now you can get 1 millilitre from 1 cubic centimetre, so that would be 18,000 millilitres, and then there's 1,000 millilitres in a litre, so that would be 18 litres. Okay, next question. There is a bigger water cooler which holds 3 times as much water. How much water does it hold? Okay, so that would be the 18,000 times 3. You can use your calculator here, and that would give you 54,000 millilitres, which is 54 litres of water. Okay, the next question we're going to try is just following some directions. So what we've got is John travels from school, so he comes out of school. Question then says that he turns right into Quaid Road, takes a left onto Julie Street, takes a right onto Killian Avenue. He then turns left down Dutch Road, takes a right at Bennett Lane and goes into the shop. Now the first thing is, can you show a path of that? Okay, so let's do a path with a line then. So he comes out of school and turns right into Quaid Avenue. He then takes a left at Julius Street, and then at Killian Avenue he takes a right. Okay, he then turns left down Dutch Road, and then he takes a right at Bent Lane and goes into the shop. Now, the next question is, if 1 centimetre on this map is 100 metres, then estimate the distance travelled. So we're going to use the ruler for that. Okay, so let's just take one bit at a time. Comes out of school and he travels down Quaid Road. Now we can see that that is about 4 centimetres. Okay, so I'm just going to list that at the side. So the first bit of his journey, first line, 4 centimetres. Okay, so that's that bit done. He then takes a left down Julie Street, so let's do that bit. Okay, now we can see that that's just about bang on 3 centimetres. Okay, so that's that bit. He then goes up Killian Avenue, so let's measure that bit. Okay, and that's about bang on another 4 centimetres, so let's add that on. Okay, he then travels down Dutch Road, and we can see that that's another 5 centimetres, so let's add that on. And then finally, another 3 centimetres to get to the shops. Okay, so in total, let's add that up then. So that's 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 5 is 16, plus 3 is 19, so 19 centimetres. 1 centimetre is 100 metres, so it's 100 times 19. You can use your calculator with that one, and that's 1,900 metres that he's travelled, approximately. Okay, the next question then is, give directions for John to get from school to the cinema. Okay, so there's school, and there's a cinema. Okay, so his first move then would be to come out of school and turn right onto Quaid Road. Right, so that's the first bit. Turn right onto Quaid Road. Okay, so he would then, well, there's a couple of ways of doing it, but let's say he just went straight on Quaid Road. So, straight on Quaid Road. Leading into, so he's then leading into here, which is then Mendes Drive. Okay, so that's the next bit. Okay, where does he go next? He takes a left down Mac Walk. He then takes a right. Okay, so there's where it is just now. He takes a right into Reese Street. And then gets to the top of Reese Street and he turns right onto Matrix Street. Okay, and at that point he'll reach his destination, which is the cinema. Okay, next question. We've got a garden that is rectangular, like so. Okay, now what we've got is bushes that go around the garden, and we'll say that the length of the garden is 5 metres and the breadth of the garden is 3 metres, and the question is what length of bushes will there be around the garden? So right around the garden is the perimeter of the garden. Well, if it's a rectangle, that means that's also 5 metres and that's also 3 metres. So the perimeter of the bush then, so I'll just write that as PB, will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, which is 16 metres. Okay, the next question is, flowers are packed in boxes as follows. Okay, so it's these cuboid boxes. And the question is, what is the volume of the box? Okay, so it's a cuboid, so it's length times breadth times height. That's 20 times 15 times 30. Okay, so you can pick up your calculator for that. 20 times 15 times 30, and that should give you 900 cubic centimetres. Okay, the next thing that we're going to say is that is a large box. Now, the flowers can also come in smaller boxes. Now, the weight of a smaller box, the question now says, is 1/5 of the weight of the large box. So what is the weight of the smaller box? The large box is 1,250. So the smaller box, it says it's 1/5 of that weight, so we just divide it by 5. You can use your calculator for that, and that will give you 250 grams. Okay, next question. We've got a pattern of tables and chairs. So we've got one table and 4 chairs can fit around that one table. We've then got 2 tables and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chairs can fit around those 2 tables. We then get 3 tables and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chairs can fit around the 3 tables. So let's put that in, 3 tables, 8 chairs. So the question then is to complete this table. So how many chairs would there be for 4 tables, 5 tables and 6 tables? Well, what we can see here as a pattern is that we're going up in 2s. So each time you add on a table, you add on 2 chairs. Okay, so 4 chairs to 6 chairs and then 6 chairs to 8 chairs. So that would then be 10 chairs by adding on another 2, 12 chairs adding on another 2, and then 14 chairs by adding on another 2. Okay, final question. We've got city A and city B on a map are 8 centimetres away from each other. Okay, that's on the map. Each 1 centimetre represents 300 miles. What is the actual distance between the towns? Okay, so 1 centimetre represents 300 miles. So if we want 8 centimetres, because that's the distance from city A and city B on the map, we need to get that 300 and multiply it by 8. You can do that in your calculator and that will give you 2,400 miles.